What's up, everyone? It's Wacka here, and I'm joined with Charizard. You want to introduce yourself?
Uh, sure. Hi.
And oh, I forgot to put his name on here. Actually, we're gonna do some video editing, but recording the video while editing. So, our first, our last place contender in these PRs for Acuity. I didn't even say that. Wow. Is Frandy. Do you want to say something about Frandy's team?
Um, when I look at Franny's team, there's a lot of mons I really like Slowbro, uh, Cinderace, Miltank. Like, there's good mons, but the synergy looks questionable, and the hazard game, both setting and removing, just seems really sus. I
Yeah, that's
feel
a
like it's gonna have a hard time maintaining momentum and keeping hazards off the field.
mm, like when Franny was talking, he's like, "Yeah, I know my removal's bad, but I have court change Cinderace." I'm just like, how often do you run court change on Cinderace? Because I've never seen it click that move. It's always clicking Pyro Ball, or it's kicking itself in the face, or it's clicking U-turn. Like that's all it does.
I mean, court change is viable and it does stop the hazard stacking, but um, it can be hard to pull off.
Uh
Like,
huh.
I don't think you want to be running defog Sizor very often, and I don't think Surfetched and Rotom Fan are coming to mini games. So
Uh huh.
yeah, I mean, you might be relying on court change Cinderace.
We're gonna be seeing it a few times.
I guess you have Magic Bounce Mega Diancie too, but that's also
Mega,
a
I feel
little
like Mega
niche.
Diancie,
And
it comes in like once a game and it tries to do as much as it can and it dies. If it dies, it comes in like still late in the game um that it doesn't really count. I think.
I also was not a huge fan of the knockoff support and the pivoting support on this team. Um, Slowbro's really good at getting your breakers in, but
Yeah, I like Slowbro and Focus together, just like pivoting back and forth, regenerating health back, and then once you get back into Slowbro, you click teleport. You can go into your breaker, you click a button. Like you go into Scissor, you click U-turn, you click Pyro Cinderace, or you can start setting up with Zygarde. Even Surfetched has like no switch ins. People forget it has Scrappy, which I think is funny because they'll switch in their Pult and it dies to a close combat.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. There's some good mons. I just don't know if they're gonna really work
together,
as well together as they need to.
I think Miltank is probably the best he could have done though. Like considering a rocker when your ground and your steel don't have rocks. What?
Also, I believe this is the only team that does not have any kind of wish passer.
No, there's another one I think. I don't remember, but yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. But he does have regen. He has Miltank, I guess.
Every other team has a wish passer. It's just a couple of them have Kamala or Salamence as their wish passers, but that's still better than having absolutely none, I think.
At least Frandy has like heal though. Although I don't really see a time when you'd bring Miss Drevis to a match like ever.
Misdreavus is actually good. I like Misdreavus a lot.
It's a cool mon, but I use Miss Magius. I brought it to a total of 0 games. But that's probably just like matchup wise. Mischievous can do a few things that are kind of cool, but as a ghost,
I
it's
mean,
still frail. It hit hard.
Miss Dreamus gets Perish Song, which is actually kind of good for this team considering its Haze user is Zygarde and he has like no Roar or Whirlwind. Like, does Surfetch get Whirlwind? Probably.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't
think he'd run it.
I don't really use Surfetch. You're running Banded Surfetched anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a solid.
Banded. You spam close combat, knock off poison jab. That's kind of what you do. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Franny, to put you last, but it's kind of it's just kind of where you ended up. Our 11th place.
Prove us wrong, please.
Our 11th place team is Shandy, and I really wanted to put this team last because it was clear he went into this only caring about stall, and then he's just like, fuck stall, let's just grab Weavile and Rillaboom really quick. But it I don't know. His speed tiers are fine. Gliscor doesn't really run speed, but at least he has Weavile and Latios and Rillaboom. Like those are really good at like clicking buttons.
Yeah, I mean this team is it's okay. It's just gonna be hard to have that stall core while maintaining some sort of offensive presence at the same time.
His removal is also weak.
The removal is really bad for a stall team.
And so is the pivoting.
So,
well, yeah. He has Gliscor, Teleport Clefable, and U-Turn Rillaboom. But, like, for stall team, you should have better removal because, like, yeah, you have Pex and you have Poison Heal Gliscor, but if you're trying to, like, pivot those out, they're not gaining much health back if you keep landing on rocks. If you can't remove them because your removal is Gliscor and Carkol, which, like, I know Carkol's a good pick, I think, and it comes to, like, a few games, but it's also 4 times weak to ground and water.
Yeah. The ground and water switch-ins here also aren't the best.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Rillaboom, yes, but a lot of things that get Earthquake and a strong water move, maybe Stab. Pex and Gliscor aren't dealing with this very well. Bronzong can be Levitate, but it still doesn't want to take a Scald to the face.
Actually, thinking of it, what ground move does Gliscor get? Does it get high horsepower? Well, it doesn't get high horsepower.
No, it gets Earthquake and Sand Tomb. So yeah, Gliscor and Rillaboom is.
That's not good.
No, it's a rough combo.
I think it's workable because Gliscor is like kind of stally. Like you'll get it in, the grassy terrain will run out eventually, and then you can like quick moves, but that's still kind of like a handicap on yourself. And even
I think in practice this team will be very hard to get wins with.
Yeah, it's definitely doable though because like Weavile, Rillaboom, Latios are all really good. Even like Calm Mind, Sableye can clean up teams if the opponent's not like paying attention enough. And like you can't taunt Mega Sableye because you'll just be taunting yourself. That's a good thing with this team. Like it does get kind of fucked by taunt, like with those like top 4 and maybe Carkol. But if he plays around like the Mega Sableye, I think he'll be fine. Which is why.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think Weavile being the only Ghost Resist, and like, yeah. Yeah. No.
I mean, at least it has like 85 special defense. Okay. It's not good though. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, our next team is Freeze Sneeze, which I thought was gonna be last, but it has some good mons on it. Like he has Latias and Fernape Florges, I think pair really nicely together. Florges Melmetal pairs nicely, and he has a Mamoswine. I don't think a Mamoswine team could ever be last.
Yeah. I think this team is. It's very strange. I've never seen a team like this before, to be honest.
I've never seen it before either, especially like when he got these mons, like round 1 Latias, round 3 Sharpedo.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange.
The pivoting and the knockoff support is pretty bad, which I place a high priority on. I think being
Yeah,
able
especially his
to
really good knockoff.
maintain momentum and gain advantages through knockoff is pretty important, and this team is really lacking in that because like Drift Blim running knockoff is so he basically has Mamo, and that isn't good enough.
I like his hazards, but his hazard removal is questionable. Because, like, Rotom does a lot more than just defog. Latias already has 4 move slot syndrome. 4 just likes the Wish Pass, and Drift Blim doesn't come to any games. And also, like, why is there a Drift Blim with a Corsola Gower? Like, 2 low tier ghosts.
Yeah, the team is actually very very strange. Like I feel like it would do better if it had a little bit more diversity to it.
Yeah, I like the Exploud though as like a low tier normal, but I think when your dark type is Sharpedo, you should go for a bulkier normal because Sharpedo falls down to like an Ember.
Anything with dark and fighting coverage really destroys everything on this team except for the Florges. At which point you just, Florges is kind of a momentum sapper anyway.
Yeah,
Pretty much any
used
skill can
Florges
come in for
before.
free.
I did not like using Florges. And usually like you'll with Florges sometimes you want to come in on like psychic types that set up on you, but they'll just like Psyshock you. Especially because your Steel's Melmetal, it's not like specially defensive. I think even psychic types can take advantage of the team, even with a strong Dark and 2 Ghosts. I mean, that's just me. And the momentum sucks too.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, I think, for this team to perform very well given some of the other teams.
Yeah, I'd say this team can work, but he'll be playing catch up quite a bit, I think. But I think Mamoswine, if as long as he can keep Mamoswine or Melmetal healthy and Infernape in some capacity, I think like he'll be fine for the most part. But together the synergy is just not really there. So
Who do we have next?
we got 11 Wildly up next, and I think this is also a really strange. This is a really strange team. Like there's 3 flying types and 2 really weird steel types. Kind of a non-fairy. He has hail and another ice type with Garm for some reason.
Yeah, there's 3 ice types, which is not very common in draft. I mean, a lot of teams don't even run ice at all because ice is such a bad type.
Defensively, yeah. Offensively, Arctazolt's scary as hell, but
Arctazol is scary. So is the Darm. Like,
yeah, I just don't know why. Why are all three of them together is the thing.
I do not like the removal on this team. Like Solomon and Landers are not removal. Like
even the only reliable rocker is like Yuxi, because Aggron comes to like one game. And even then, like Aggron, I think is better at clicking like banded head smash or something like that.
yeah, this team is very reliant on getting certain mons set up, like Moltres Galar, or Belly Drum Linoon, or
I'm actually seeing if he doesn't
Rush
bring
Rush.
Yuxi. Sorry. I was thinking like if he doesn't bring Yuxi to a game, he'll just be missing out on like a lot of things. Because Yuxi is like the support for like everything.
Yeah,
Knockoff, stealth rock, pivoting, healing wish. I think it gets,
yeah, it does.
which is nice because this team also has only Salamence as like a wish passer. Like Salamence in general is like he has to run like wish and defog like every week. He brings it. Well, he doesn't have to run wish, but if he doesn't, the team kind of just slowly dies. Especially because
Yeah, I mean the team seems to operate more on like getting set up on something and just sweeping people, but it's hard to really make room for that.
Are we doing PRs right now, or are we just doing Acuity placements?
we're doing PRs. So
Well, are you recording these? I'm sorry if I'm interrupting.
no, you're fine. We're on number 9 on Acuity if you want to join.
Number 9.
Yep.
For Acuity.
Yep. We're doing Valor next.
Oh.
So anyways, I did not mean to actually go to the next slide. Did he have anything else to say about the team Charizard?
No,
Number 9 I think number 9 is wild, right?
Yes, there's a lot of offensive pressure, but it's definitely going to be a hard team to build for, but it's also a hard team to build with because the options for certain aspects are pretty limited. Uxie does get kind of overwhelmed being the only support mon. I mean, I guess you have Alola Ninetales with Hypnosis and Aurora Veil and stuff, so there's good options, but...
It kind of hurts, though.
Wait, y'all actually put me at last? I just fucking realized that, bruh. Y'all have gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Who do you think should last?
Shandy.
So
we thought about it. We thought about it.
Honestly, I kind of get it. Y'all are just underrating the fuck out of Guzzlord. Is all I'm saying.
It's not the Guzzlord, it's the Cinderace clicking chord change. So, anyways, in 8th place we got
fine.
And
Okay, I'm gonna go and rewatch when y'all finish this recording. I'm so sorry for interrupting. I'm just like way too fucking late for this shit.
That's fine. So in 8th we got Voids, and
I'm sad. I love my team.
I put his team 8th because I helped him build it, and my teams also suck. So.
Oh, I love this team. I love this team a lot. Honestly, I love this team a lot. I don't think it's like I like the hazards, I like the removal. Well, I don't like the hazards that much because like Necrozma is like your only reliable rocker, but the removal isn't bad.
The removal, it's not bad.
Like
but
you have Moltres, you have Tentacruel, you have Whimsicott, so
they're very good at.
Like honestly, I value good removal over good hazards a lot more.
That's fair, especially because Defog fucks both sides over usually. But he has a really good spinner. But like, the only time
he's a good spinner in Tentacruel. I love Tentacruel.
The only time he'll be clicking spin is if he's clicking like T spikes with Tentacruel because his rockers are all Necrozma and Necrozma and Necrozma.
Honestly, no. Like, you can just use Rapid Spin as, like, general removal, just like Defog. The thing is, you have to watch out for ghosts switching in on you, but most ghosts don't have coverage for Tentacruel except for, like, Thunderbolt. And even Thunderbolt isn't... Non-staff Thunderbolt isn't doing shit Tentacruel.
Yeah. But I don't even remember the last time I've been spin blocked by a ghost. Maybe
exactly.
in
like nobody runs ghosts for spin blocking, and Tentacruel like threatens a lot of the ghosts.
Ghost types in general are like rarely drafted. But
yeah.
This team I like the Duck Trio because with Mega Mawile he can like trap the steals and the fires that like to wall Mega Mawile. Is like I wouldn't say a wall, but that's like the switch in to Mega Mawile is like
that like to quote unquote switch in. But the thing is, Mawile is all about knowing what to revenge kill and just like getting the correct place. It's a very hard monster to actually switch into, so you gotta take advantage of the things that defeat Mega Mawile for like a fighting type, honestly, because like a fast fighting type beats Mega Mawile. Well, it doesn't beat Mega Mawile, but it revenge kills. Like, for example, Urshifu is never switching into Mawile, but it is a very good revenge killer of Mawile.
I do not like...
revenge it back.
I do not like the Mega Mawile pick with no slow pivots. I'm not even going to count Probopass because, like, Probopass is pretty
Moltres is right there. I mean, Moltres, yeah, it's 90 base speed, but, like, you're never going to... Like, no, you most of the time you never run speed on Moltres unless you're going offensive. But you already have Raikou, sort of like that special, not wall breaker, I'd say, because like it's not really like unless you run Specs Raikou, but almost never run Specs Raikou. But you've got that special attacking threat in there. You've also got like potentially Specs Whimsicott, which isn't even that bad on this build because you never have to use Whimsicott as like utility stun sport, and of course you can use it as utility stun sport. It thrives in that role, but Specs Whimsicott honestly is not that bad.
Yeah, I just think the pivoting could use some work. Like I would like
the pivoting definitely could use some work. Like
also the
Moltres is not enough for Mega Mawile.
The phasing is really bad too.
I don't value phasing as much as I do, you know, hazards and removal, so I completely understand that. And Roar Moltres honestly isn't like that bad. Haze Tentacruel is also there.
I feel like Moltres' pressure do like a lot.
And then you also have, I think, Dragon Tail Necrozma. I don't know if Necrozma gets Dragon Tail.
I think it does. It's basically like Mew with different stuff.
It does not have Dragon Tail. It does not get Dragon Tail.
It gets like breaking swipe, which is not really a move anyone wants. I mean, Necrozma's very scary.
Very, very scary setup threats. You got two huge setup threats in Necrozma and Raikou, which I like a lot because it makes both of them a lot more versatile. Like Specs Raikou that I mentioned before is going to be used here a lot more to break special waters other than set up on them, which sometimes is the better option, sometimes it isn't. You know, it all depends on the matchup. And Necrozma can be used as a defensive threat rather than just Calm Mind sweeping, Autotomize sweeping, even Dragon Dance sweeping. Like, it's not going to be used as that every week, and I like that.
Yeah, I like
to use Necrozma for example, to wall a Mega Metacham, you know?
Doug Trio being able to trap stuff and Whimsicott being able to, you know, prankster, stun sport or whatever. Like,
yeah, this is definitely very annoying in terms of the utility that it has.
Like it has options. It's just it needs a little more.
Yeah, it needs like the only thing that this team needs is just a lot more slow pivoting and, you know, a ground that can actually wall shit, because Mega Mawile just like cannot switch into ground moves, and there's nothing here that really switches into like a stab Earthquake. Like a choice band. Like Excadrill kind of demolishes this team.
That's kind of why
anything with Earthquake is beating this team outside of like Licky or Necrozma, I guess. But like even then, like Edgequake.
Oh, Edgequake, yeah.
That's kind of why I told them to pick up Heracross. It was because we were lacking a ground switch.
Edgequake, like, yeah, Heracross resists. Okay, sorry. Both Edge and Quake.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's neutral. It's neutral to Edge.
To Rock. Wait, my bad. Yeah, my bad. It's neutral to Edge.
Which is fine. Like, I mean,
it's fine, but you're never gonna use Heracross like as a defensive spiker. Its stats are just not cut out for that.
It's also like pretty much anything running Edgequake is not threatened by any of Heracross's moves. It's not a Mega Heracross that can just launch out a Bullet Seed or something like.
I think a normal Heracross is really scary. Guts Flame Orb, like
no, normal Heracross is definitely very scary with like choice.
I'm just saying it like as far as like the defensive utility versus an Edgequake team, like
yeah,
you're not threatening anything.
You know, you're not,
something that
Excadrill definitely gets threatened by Heracross, but then like what's that Excadrill in this division? Let me see.
Like, what is Heracross doing to Landorus?
I'm pretty sure Void's had the Excadrill at some point. No, someone else has it now. I don't remember who it is, but...
Oh, nobody else has it? Oh. Okay, then we can use Garchomp as the example then.
Well,
Garchomp kind of also demolishes this team. Like, anyway. Sure, Whimsicott's like right there, but Garchomp gets Poison Jab, and even then, Fedora literally has Corviknight, so...
Yeah. So anyways, we've been talking about this team for a while. I kind of want to move on to number 7, Gavega. Oh, this is the drill team. Okay, so...
Oh yeah, this is the drill team.
So, he has Sand with Drill, Dracozolt, and Deoxys.
Okay, yeah, it has good hazards. Yeah, wait. Oh, I'm so sad about my team being garbage. I'm sorry.
So, I really think this team is over-reliant on Sand. I
can see it.
Its speed control outside of Sand is really bad because Deoxys and then
it's like what are the six that you are bringing if you aren't bringing either Gigalith or Drill, like Deoxys Speed, Togekiss, Vaporeon, Incin, like you're not bringing Dracozolt. Well, maybe you're bringing Hustle Dracozolt or even like Volt Absorb Dracozolt, so like maybe, but like not really. And then Mega Venu, like Miss Magius, Stoutland, and Frostmoth aren't really gonna come to games unless you want to try and go ha funny Frostmoth sweep. You know, it's like that's not gonna happen.
Doesn't Sand nerf synthesis recovery for Mega Venusaur, or am I just
I also really don't like the Mega Venusaur Sand.
But at least
because of that, like Venusaur relies on Leech Seed for recovery, and without Black Sludge, you're not actually recovering as much health as you would like unless you're seeding like a Blissey.
You're getting chipped, and then you're not recovering health. I mean, Vaporeon, if it's running leftovers, you're basically negating that.
I like Vaporeon Sand a lot. Like, I love the Vaporeon pick. Like, that thing is going to be able to wall everything despite not having leftovers, but it's not very nice. It's not the best that it's getting chipped, like, almost every turn.
Yeah. I really don't
I just don't like the low tiers, honestly. Like, the low tiers do nothing for this team. Miss Magius, it's like, it's okay, but I don't really like it. Like, honestly, I'd rather this team have Mischievous, but I have Mischievous, so
I think Miss Magius is fine. I just wish it had like, I don't see Stoutland or Frostmoth doing much.
Like, honestly, just combine them all into a 13-pointer, and boom, you got a more solid team, because then you're less reliant on Sand. Hopefully, you fill out some more offensive roles on this team, like, you know, a special wall breaker, which this team doesn't really have.
He could come.
Venusaur isn't a wall breaker because it can't hold an item. Togekiss is more of a cleaner with a choice scarf if you're going offensive, and if it's defensive, you're not really breaking any walls. And Life Orb Togekiss is just not a viable option because of Stealth Rocks just being a thing.
I do like that. He doesn't have
So
to
there's
run
no
Wish
real
Protect.
like special wall breaker on this team. So if you could swap out some members for like a special wall breaker or some shit, I don't know. I would like that, or like or a slow pivot, which this team also doesn't really have except for Incineroar and Vaporeon. But flip turn on Vaporeon, like having to run Vaporeon is one of your only slow pivots. Only limits you to running flip turn a lot more than you would want. So you're not going to be able to run Scald, you're not going to be able to run Toxic, you're not going to be able to run other coverage moves like Ice Beam alongside Wish Protect, which are Vaporeon's most important moves, purely because of the recovery and the Wish passing.
Vaporeon is one of my favorite mons to use. Like,
I agree.
I think
I
it's
love
really good.
Vaporeon. Again, I love the
And
Vaporeon here. Don't get me wrong. It's
every
just like,
time I use it, it's very hard. Like, I want to run Scald, Wish, Protect, Flip Turn, Ice Beam, Roar, Haze, Toxic. Like, it's very hard to finalize 4 moves for Vaporeon.
and then you add a heal bell on top of that. It's like
That's another one. Yeah, it's very hard to
it's very hard to decide on 4 moves for Vaporeon. So most of the time you run Scald, Wish, Protect, Heal Bell. Like Scald, Wish, Protect, Flip Turn as well. If there's no like Jellicent on there for the water immunity or Seismitoad, or Scald, Wish, Protect, Toxic. It's like you're very limited in terms of what you can do with Vaporeon.
yeah.
Like in particularly on this team because of the sand chip that's slowly whittling you down, which makes you want to run Wish Protect even more. The sand also pressures you to run Toxic, just because you have to whittle things down with the sand chip. It's like Vaporeon has a lot of pressure put on it on this team.
And if you want to keep your sand up, Wish Flip Turn is kind of key to that also, because Gigalith can get worn down very quickly. And at that point, you're relying on Dracozolt outside of sand, which...
It's garbage, frankly.
Yeah, it's hard to make work in the
Like,
context.
it's not a Dracovish because it doesn't have Strong Jaw. And the only way that Dracozolt boosts its power outside of sand is with Hustle, and we all know how inconsistent that is. And it's not even like a Durant case where you have Hone at the very least to raise your accuracy, because you don't have that.
Yeah.
So I think we've...
So who's next?
Next team is Frosty, who is the Pulse.
Wait, okay, so we're just moving on. Wow, okay, that was like not a transition at all, but okay.
Well, this video is gonna be like an hour long, so.
And fuck it, if it's gonna be an hour long, just make it I don't know, stretch it out. I don't know.
Yeah, but
no one's gonna be watching this for an hour, that's for sure. Frosty's team is
whatever.
Frosty's team is really cool. I like the Polt Megasis combo. Sylveon.
Sylveon is the go. I love Sylveon. Hashtag Sylveon. I love Sylveon. I have a plushie of her right now.
If you look at the first 7 mons, they all pivot pretty well. U-turn, baton pass, volt switch.
The momentum on this team is great. Absolutely fantastic. I love this team.
You got solid defoggers with Scizor, Rotom, T-Flame. Solid rocker.
And a spinner and Donphan also, which is also a rocker.
Donphan, Dugtrio, and Roselia being the only setters is kind of problematic. It is.
And why is Dougie even on this team? Like, remind me why Dougie is even on this team. Like,
I have no idea.
Is it to fill in the speed gap? Like, why is Dougie here? You already have a stay on Mega Scizor, and Dougie isn't really rolling any hits that Mega Scizor really can't. They're both weak to fire. It's not like a Bronzong case where you can even like do heat proof.
Yeah, the Dugtrio pick is very bizarre.
And everything that Dougie can do, Donphan literally just does better, because except for like sand sweeping, but this team doesn't have a sand Setter and Dawn Fan is like even stronger with a choice band and tankier, so you can tank a physical hit. Like I don't get Doug Trio at all on the team. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
saying
but-
Like that's kind of what's dragging this team down. Like if you got, I don't know how many points alone Dougie is, but
I think 3.
like I don't know.
Maybe 2. I think if he combined Dougie and like Roselia into Vileplume, it could be good, but he would be losing like Spike.
No, then your only rocker would be Dawn Fan, and then you're fucked.
He's fucked
Well,
either way.
his only rocker is Dawn Fan anyway, because like when you bring in Doug Trio. Also, this team
Yeah.
kind of hard loses to set up. He has no phasers like at all outside of Roar Dawn Fan and like Whirlwind Talonflame, I guess.
I honestly have no idea, but Talonflame isn't taking any hits anyway enough to like phase in the first place.
Especially because it's going to be Forster and Defog a lot, because Rotom and Scizor can't always fit it, you
But
know?
it doesn't lose to too much setup. Like it doesn't lose to any frail Dragon Dance sweepers or like any frail Sword Stand sweepers just because of that Mega Scissor priority. Also, Sucker Punch, Dragapult, which don't even hit me with that. Dragapult doesn't need priority because it's already so fast. I've used Choice Band, Sucker Punch, Dragapult, and that shit is great. I love it. It's so good for revenge killing surfers trying to outspeed Pole.
You have Ice Shard, Dawn Fan, Bullet Punch, Scissor, Quick Attack, Sylveon. I've used Quick Attack Sylveon.
Who's using Quick Attack Sylveon? Like, tell me right now.
I've seen it put in work, but let's not suggest it as like a serious thing.
Well, I'm just saying,
Quick Attack.
like, it's there. I've used it. Wacka's used it before. Don't worry, Frosty.
Of course, Wacka has used it. Like,
I mean, you have the Gale Wings Talonflame too, like to revenge kill, but like overall, like I think this team could make better use of its low tiers. Like I don't think it needs to be double steel, double grass, double flying.
Ground. It's like double
Yeah,
ground as well. Like Dougie doesn't make any sense. Honestly, I like the double flying because Zapdos doesn't get defog. Like Zapdos doesn't get defog. And Talonflame does. It gives you a better speed.
Yeah,
Like it gives you a speed gap in between Dragapult and Zarude because Dougie might as well not even be a Mon on this team.
yeah.
So
That
I
Doug Trio
like
is
the
very
Talonflame pick. Talonflame also gives you some extra pivoting, which is always nice. Like it's very good. I like Talonflame a lot on this team, but you know it's like
Yeah,
you know
I think
like the rest of the double typings I can totally agree with you on because Zarude and Roselia, like you're just gonna bring Zarude every time anyway.
I think with minor changes, this team could boost up to top 3. But as it stands, we have it at what, number 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 is actually really
Yeah. Some minor changes would really take this team to the top, but unfortunately, we've got Roselia and Doug Trio, and
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, missing utility.
Next, we got the better version of my team, aka Fedora.
So this team is
This is just a better version of my team.
it's kind of slow. It's very slow because it's fast.
Wait, why did we put this above Frosty? This team's speeches are fucking garbage. Why is this top 5 again? I mean, Garchomp, Mega Galade, Corviknight, that hard carries the
it's
team.
because
don't
of
get me
that.
wrong, but like,
It's because of that and Purina.
but like T-Tar, I'm not a fan of T-Tar. I'm not a fan. I'm not a very big fan of T-Tar. And then
T-Tar's
Jumpluff
great.
and Pinsir. What the fuck are Jumpluff and Pinsir gonna do?
Jumpluff is really good, actually, like because it's fast. It gets Leech Seed, Strength Sap. He's got
Okay, yeah, but when are you
Strength Sap
realistically gonna bring fucking Jumpluff?
when you need to.
When you need to.
When you need to, aka never with a Rose Raid on your team.
They do different things.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Jumpluff as a low tier pick. It's like what, 1 or 2 points? Like, what else were you gonna get there? Especially on a slow team like this, like.
Okay. Maybe the
fast.
Jumpluff is good. Maybe we'll see it pop off one week. I don't know. I have to see it to believe it. But what the fuck is the pincer doing here? Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
It's wasting
What the
points,
fuck?
so he has an excuse to not upgrade Kangaskhan to Audino. Because he has no heal bell support. Roserade has aromatherapy.
Bastard.
Roserade has aromatherapy, right? I think Poltegeist does too.
Yeah, it does. It does. No, it doesn't actually. No, it doesn't. I've tried running aromatherapy Roserade, and then I looked it up, and it doesn't have it.
Okay, so.
Wait, no, it does. What the fuck?
Roserade has aromatherapy.
Yeah.
It does. Wait, what was I? I meant Amoongus. Wait, I confused it with Amoongus. My bad.
I think.
Amoongus is the one that doesn't get aromatherapy. Again, this is just a better version of my team. Like, it has the better Rotom, it has the better Roserade, the better Dragon Ground, the better flying type. It's like
a lot of these ones are really hard to switch into, right? You got Garchomp. I mean,
Mega Golay, Choice Pantitar, Scarf Primarina, which fucked me week 1. Like,
I think Rotom Heat is really hard too. I faced
if you get a nasty plot up, definitely like overheat twice, you have a double nuke. Instead of just one nuke. Like it's like nasty plot Rotom Heat can definitely do some shit. Even like Choice Band Kangaskhan can come to one game.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen Choice Band Kangaskhan pop off. I've gotten fucked by it a few times. Because I forget that.
Also, Bulk of Corviknight gives this team some setup, but like this team doesn't have that much setup in general. Like Nasty Plot, Rotom Heat, Calm Mind. Okay, never mind. It has a lot of setup. What the fuck?
It has fucking Scale Shot, Sword Dance, Garchomp, DD, Tyranitar, Calm Mind, Bulk Up, Gallade, Sword Stance, Gallade, Iron Defense, Corv, like Shell Smash, Poltegeist. There's a lot of setup here, actually.
There's a lot of setup here.
So, but
the team has a lot of flaws, and
so there's 2 defoggers, which are also both the pivots, being Corviknight, Rotom Heat.
I mean, he does have reliable defogger. Like Corviknight might as well like carry the defog section, and then Rotom, you can run defog Rotom. I don't like it very much because you get a lot of free turns on Rotom, which is very easy to exploit. But you know, like Corviknight might as well just carry the defog.
It's good enough for defog, but it takes away from it running like Iron Defense, Body Press, and like Bulk Up, Power Trip even.
Yeah.
This team could really use like a court change Cinderace or something.
Come on, don't tease me with that. I already heard it. Stop it. What do you guys have against the Bun?
And I also like the knockoff support is pretty weak.
Pinsir. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of offensive potential here. But
this team is also really fast. Like his slowest mon is Primarina. I'm noticing, but his slowest mon is really fast, but his fastest mon is really slow. If that makes sense.
It's like these features are very bad is the thing, but honestly, that's not as important as like overall team synergy, and this team has a lot of that.
But that's what's putting. That's what's putting this.
He's got like 5 good Scarfers, or like decent Scarfers. Like the options are there.
Well, I mean, Garchomp is like your, but like not having a good Scarfer is like gets bad when you have to run Scarf Primarina to beat a team.
You can run Poltegeist.
Which is exactly what he did against me, and it worked, but, you know, in all fairness, it did work.
So, I guess moving on to number 4, we got JCP, the Mew team, with Kyurem, and this team is fucking scary. Everything on this team does work.
My god, yeah, this team is fucking cracked, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This seems very cracked.
Alright, so you've got Mew, Zeraora, and Kyurem. All 3 have awesome coverage and mixed offenses. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of utility there. Blissey, Registeel, Tapu Fini. Very hard to break.
I put as a con,
Like,
not very good breakers.
Decidueye is a very underrated but very reliable offensive threat with choice specs. Like even Swords Dance Decidueye can do some shit with Spirit Shackle.
Spirit Shackle, Poltergeist, Leaf Blade.
Yeah, Poltergeist is a thing.
Yeah,
I
no.
forgot Poltergeist is a thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten Spirit Shackle, like Scarf Decidueye is really funny.
Even Specs Decidueye, I've gotten swept by Specs Decidueye. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I've gotten swept by that shit.
It's funny. And, like, his worst...
It is very funny and very effective. Like, it's a lot stronger than I thought it was. Like, Specs Leaf Storm genuinely does damage.
Yeah.
Fuck.
For 9
This team has good pivots. It has good knockoff support. It has good phasers.
The thing it doesn't have is good, reliable, immediate wall breakers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it has Curum, but that's kind of it. Like, he has to set up a little bit to do work, like bulk up.
Curum is like the only wall breaker here, and even then, most of the time it wants to run sub roost, or like substitutes boots, substitute sets, or just like non-choice sets that don't really break walls. Like, sure, it's very hard to switch into with Freeze Dry and Earth Power. Like, that's very, very scary to switch into. But you know, if you have something that can tank some special hits, you most of the time you're fine against Curum. Is the thing.
Well, the best special walls are on this team. You've got Blissey and Tapu Fini.
And Reggie.
Well, Tapu Fini gets destroyed by Curum anyway because of Freeze Dry, unless you run Yachi Berry, Tapu Fini.
Oh, doesn't matter because
honestly,
he
I
has
would run
Tapu Fini. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, if he's running Curum and Tapu Fini, there's not many things that are going to switch in on the Curum and be safe. And Curum, like, it doesn't have to be special.
By running Fini and Curum on the same team, you're kind of taking away that Dragon Stab from Curum just because it halves Dragon type attacks with the Misty Terrain.
Yeah, and that can be played around.
While you're technically limiting the things that can switch into Curum and status it, you're also opening the door for Steel types that are neutral to Dragon to come in and say hi.
Yeah.
Or like anything that resists ice that would otherwise be threatened by a Draco Meteor just comes in and walls it anyway in the Misty Terrain.
Yeah, but you got the Earth Power and the Focus Blast as well. Like if you're running specs.
Personally,
like,
wow, I can't wait for Focus Blast to miss.
Well, the thing with Curum though is like
if you're having to argue that, oh my god, you have Focus Blast for thing, it's like Focus Blast isn't reliable. Focus Blast isn't something for you to be relying on ever.
It doesn't need to be relied on, it just needs to win.
It just has to like threaten the other person.
Yeah, it has to win like 10% of the time.
Well,
70%.
It only wins 10% of the time. I don't give me this 70% bullshit. It's 10%.
Well, the thing with Curum,
don't give me any of that 70%.
I'm never scared. I'm not that scared of Draco Meteor. It's usually I'm scared of Ice Beam and Freeze Dry and Earth Power.
No, you're scared of Freeze Dry and Ice Beam is the thing with Curum. You're never scared of Draco Meteor.
Like, yeah, it hits hard with Draco, but like it usually nerfs the Curum, and then you can like heal back or like whatever you're doing with it. Because usually you're switching in like your wall on it.
I think the wall breaking potential is kind of understated. I mean, Zeraora is very powerful.
No, it's 112, 102. Like, unless you have a Life Orb, it's very underwhelming, and Life Orb Zeraora gets worn down very quickly. And if you're running it as a cleaner, then it's not really there to break walls. Like, Zeraora's role is to be a cleaner and take advantage of the punched walls. The thing with this team is that Curum is the only thing that can punch said walls.
Well, it's not though. You've got Body Press, Registeel, you've got Decidueye, you've got
Body
Crocodile.
Press, Registeel, and Decidueye. Wow.
There's a whole meal. Like, I think this team is actually really good.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just
is
gonna
very
say,
good. Don't get me wrong. It's this high for a reason, but like, it has one problem, and that's it. That's my only problem with this team. Otherwise, this team is very good. I love it. I would love to use it. But like, it has that one problem. That's it.
Yeah. I also think our
And you don't get content talking about good things, Charizard. Come on, you should know this.
I'm doing this instead of shit posting. I feel like a loser right now. All right. Who's next?
Our next team is
J-Lock. Oh no, this is my week too. Yay!
We got J-Lock.
J-Lock.
I'll let Charizard take
Oh,
this.
J-Lock.
I don't know J-Lock very well. And
I don't know him either, but I know this team and I know that I love it. I love Urshifu Gengar. Personally use that core. Fucking love it. Urshifu Gengar, very, very, very good core.
All right, so there's only a couple rockers, but they're reliable. You can bring Mega Aggron or Mudsdale to any game. You're not gonna bring them both, and you're not gonna. They're not coming to every game themselves, but at least one will come to every game, and they don't mind fitting rocks, and they have the defensive utility to set them. So that's nice.
Yeah, the only time you're not gonna run like stealth rocks on either Mega Aggron and Mudsdale is on Aggron's case, Iron Defense Body Press, and in Mudsdale's case, even Choice Band. Like I've seen Choice Band Mudsdale like legitimately destroy teams.
yeah, it's fun. But I
don't like about this team is the Swallow. And maybe
Swellow's great. Swellow is great. I love Swellow. Like Swellow just kind of fits in here really, really well because it's a flying type that you don't need to rely on switching into ground type moves like very prediction reliant because you have Zapdos. It's a really, really good cleaner that you don't have to rely on instead of like Scarf Gengar or Scarf or Shifu. Like it's the best cleaner on this team, hands down. But it's not the only one, which I love.
Yeah, I would say Shifu is the best cleaner on this team. Like I feel like
the best wall breaker on this team. You use your Shifu as the wall breaker. You use Swellow as the cleaner. Is gonna be the game plan in most games because in the late game when everything is weakened, nothing switches into Specs Boom Burst. As in. But with Urshifu, if you're running Scarf Urshifu, if the opponent plays it smart and saves the fairy for the late game, Urshifu's kind of fucked. Unless that fairy is the only mon left, and the only thing that's pressured, and by that point, Swellow 2-hit KOs any fairy that isn't Florges with Specs Boom Burst.
Yeah, so the main problems I had with this team, because I think it's a really well-built team. Like, it does a lot of things really well. You've got a lot of utility there. I really think it could have used, like, over Swallow. I like Swallow's fit, kind of.
I love Swallow. Swallow, and you don't know how scary Swallow is until you Palk. That shit 2-hit KOs almost everything. My only Zapdos does not wall Swallow with max HP, max per def. I know Zapdos is on this team, but Swallow has no walls except for Assault ones. And Guts.
I would like to see
you don't see them anymore, but they're still a thing. Nothing to watch out for.
I would like to see better wish support on this team and maybe some webs. I feel like Urshifu with some webs and even Gengar and stuff would open things up more for this team.
As honestly, I think as much as
And then
like,
if you're relying on
Definitely
Mega
do that, but
Aggron,
honestly, like Web's
Galar as your defensive core, a better Wish Passer than Kamala would also be like desired. Like I think this
definitely
team
like
has
if you
a
swap
lot of
Kamala
very
out
strong
for
points.
Lickitung, this team's automatically like top 2.
well, I think he
This
should use
this
like
team does a lot well, but
he should have like a fairy wish passer in my opinion with Mega Aggron. He has Wheezing Galar, that's fine,
Yeah.
but he could use like a second fairy. I think is fine with Wheezing, because with the fairy you get um it's better with Aggron as like a fighting switch in. You can wish pass back to Aggron too. But normal type is fine too, like Lickitung.
Weezing Galar is like the best fighting switch-in ever.
It is, but like
Yeah.
I think your wish passer should also be like your wish passer should resist fighting with Mega Aggron. But Wheezing itself is fine.
Yeah, but like Wheezing is one of the things that you wish pass into it. Like if you're threatened by a fighting type, like even if you're a Lickitung, you going on like an
but
Urshifu, you just or like, not like bad example. I don't know any fighting type, you just go into Wheezing and boom. Like
I'm just saying like with Aggron, Wheezing's fine. It's the Aggron. Like you want to wish pass into it because if you're running rest on Aggron, you're losing some of its potential. I think.
Yeah,
But it's
and
yeah,
one thing I do like is the teleport into Mega Aggron. Because I used Mega Aggron and Weezing Galar together with Slow Bro, not Slow King, but I mean they're kind of similar anyway. But being able to teleport into Mega Aggron and get your Mega Evolution off without having to like lead it, because you don't want to swap Mega Aggron in and take like an earthquake or whatever. Like you want to have that safe Mega, and so
and
having
the thing is, I think
the
Slowking is
teleport.
actually better with Mega Aggron because of the special defense that Slowking leans into rather than the physical defense.
Yeah,
Another physical wall that you don't need to exactly like rely on because you have Mudsdale right there, you have Galarian Wheezing right there, and Slowking is a very reliable special wall. Zapdos
yeah. When I had the Slowking got sniped, so I picked Slow Bro. But then I just got Blissey anyway, so I had plenty of special defense and physical defense.
Well, I think we've talked about this team enough, right?
yeah.
And honestly, Blissey on this team would really make it unbreakable, especially with Urshifu.
We've definitely talked about this
I've seen
enough, right?
Yes. So
right.
okay, so
I think Colorado is going to be underrated, but yeah, let's move on.
up at number 2 we got Mr. Wailing.
Why is the superior team up here? I don't.
Because it's.
No.
Do you see like the other mons? Like there's a Glow King and.
I mean, yeah, Megalophony, Hydreigon, yeah, yada yada yada. It's like
there's one bad mon on this team that's called Marshtomp.
Because he has
with Swampert on the. Why the fuck is this two? Why the fuck is this two?
Because it's really good.
Starmie, Swampert, Arcanine, and it's like it's good, and then it has Glow King on there. It's annoying, but that's as much as it is. That's kind of as like,
this team's good. I would
it's just
use
annoying.
this.
It's just very very annoying.
Like I think he should trade out Marshtomp for like a rock type in like the. I think it's 2 points. I think you can
something like a Bulldor.
Sure, I use Bulldor and EDC.
Like, what does this team like? The only special like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this team. I don't.
I love this team.
I don't know. I don't think that. I don't think this team is better than JLock's. I argue that it's not even better than JCP's team. You know, it's like.
I mean, you can argue that, but we put it at number 2 because.
Why is this so high? Like.
Because
the only reliable defogger here is Skarmory. Like Superior's never running defog. You're not bringing Rotom Frost as a wall. You're bringing purely offensively. And if you're having to run Defog Hydreigon, there's something going on, you know?
Skarmory is a very bad defogger because you really want Skarmory to set spikes or rocks.
Aha! So, why is this team so high?
Okay, well,
because it's very, very, very hard to break, and it's got a lot of breaking potential as well. You've got
Lopunny. Okay, Lopunny's a wall breaker. Superior, I guess, is a wall breaker, but literally every steel type switches into it, and Mega Lopunny does not directly switch into any steel type moves. And well, Swampert is there as a good pivot, but I don't know.
You have Swampert and an Arcanine.
And you just go into Skarmory. Like this team is just all about pivoting into annoying shit, and that's it.
Yeah, it's very good at doing that.
It's just a very long loop of, oh, I switch into this wall to wall and potentially break this. Oh no, I went to that annoying thing. Time to switch into my wall, into this thing that could potentially break my team. Because you cannot touch this very thing. Oh no, you switched into that annoying thing. Let me go into my annoying thing that you have to flip turn on. You know, it's like, it's just annoying.
Yeah, but I mean, if you take advantage of like double switches, like the offensive potential is pretty crazy. I mean, between Mega Lopunny and Hydreigon,
it's just Mega Lopunny and Hydreigon. Like Superior is just kind of there.
I don't like Superior
is
either.
Not a real wall breaker. Superior is a cleaner.
But you could also
Superior
go into
is
Arcanine.
Kind of garbage, you know.
You can go into Arcanine, you click Teleport, you go into Swampert, you click Flip Turn.
This is what I'm saying, it's just a loop annoying shit, that's it.
Well, yeah, but it's very good.
That's exactly
annoying.
Annoying
you
is
just
good.
You just knock off every shit on this team, and if they go into Mega Lopunny, you switch into your fairy, then it U-turns, and the loop just starts all over again. You're just asking for 100 turn games.
Yeah, that's fun. That's what makes the team good. Like, you want to make your opponent.
Like, the team is good. Don't get me wrong, but like, is it better? Is it really better than like the fucking Urshifu team? Is it better than the Mew team? Like, no, it's not.
Well,
I think having the Intimidate pivot and the Wish Passer really kind of.
Aromatisse is not going to reliably Wish Pass throughout a whole game unless the other team has like 0 wall breakers. Like,
sometimes they don't. Like,
the nice thing about Aromatisse is it can't be taunted. So it can come on things like Urshifu, and
like, how does this team beat Mega Gallade?
What?
This team does not beat Mega Gallade, like, at all. Like, +2, like, the only thing that you have for Mega Gallade is Skarmory, but even that, after a round of rocks, if you're not max HP, max defense, that shit is dropping to a +2 close combat. And
Mega Lopunny kills Mega Glade, and so does Superior. Like, just click Glare. Like, this team has a lot of tools.
Yeah, you click Glare, sure, but they go into their steel type and don't give a shit about paralysis. It's like, again, this team just starts a bunch of loops that you're never gonna get through until you KO one Mon, and then boom, the cycle, it's momentum. Like, this team is just all about being snowballed or snowballing.
Yeah. I think this one,
it's like, it's very hit or miss just because of all the fucking pivots.
This one could have been third, but I think that having the Wish support from Aromatisse,
I think this team is definitely fourth. I don't think this team is number 2
doesn't matter anymore
at all.
But
yeah, what's our number 1 team? I mean, someone has to be.
It's Thorn T, Supple Coco, Lando T, Heatran, Copalion, Umbreon, Tangrowth, Seismitoad. How did we let them get it?
I don't know.
This is definitely not, this is like up there. This is definitely like definitely like the contender for number 1. Definitely, I agree with this shit. Hold on, what the fuck do you do about this team?
Well, so I low key, like, I don't want to brag. I definitely helped build this team. Torn T is my favorite mon in draft. Like, I'm sorry, Like, I know there's better Mons, but like that's just my guy.
No, like definitely pick your favorites. I'm not gonna shit on you for that. I think 20 is garbage, but like I redrafted it recently with Garchomp, and I'm looking forward to that. So like reusing Torrentee.
Dude,
Like
my first ever draft, I had Torrentee, Garchomp, Mega Gallade, and Slowbro.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Let's you have that shit.
Anyways, yeah, I had Torrentee in my first like full season, and then I had Tapu Koko and EDC.
Okay, wait. Why are we talking about your team and actually talk about the the team that we're?
Wait, hold on. I want to get to the gist of like the basis for this team. So when I use those Mons, I found a lot of utility options available in them. I really enjoyed. I did a speed tour. I had Torrentee, Tapu Koko, Heatran, Tangrowth in a like 8-Mon speed tour.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't get on this team is the dual Therian. But even then, like you have one of the best ice switchings in the game, like the best ice switching in the game in Heatran.
And a Cobalion.
So at that point, it might not even like matter at all.
You've got your budget rain.
They cover each other. They cover the rest of each other's weaknesses, and Heatran doesn't give a shit about ice types except for Kyurem and Mamoswine. That's it.
Yeah, no, I think this team is really good.
Kyurem and like,
the pivoting is pretty crazy because you have Torrentee, Tapu, Lando.
The thing is, technically Illumise, but like, never.
Well, sheesh. I had Torrentee with Illumise. I fucking killed a Dragapult with that Illumise.
Oh damn.
But I think
I'm not saying Illumise is bad. I love it. Like I really like Illumise as a low tier, but I'm just saying it's not going to be running U-turn all that much. It's not going to be used as a pivot.
It doesn't need to.
Prankster annoyance.
It's Prankster Baton Pass. Prankster Baton Pass. You can switch into whatever you want.
You also get Prankster Roost, so like.
Well, oh yeah, you also get Baton Pass Umbreon as a pivot. People underestimate Baton Pass Umbreon as a pivot a lot. Like
yeah, Baton Pass Umbreon is good. You can use Yawn to like phase special setup, and then Foul Play to take advantage of physical setup. And then it's just a good.
Yeah, it's very good. And then even for other phasers, like you have Roar Heatran, Roar Cobalion. And then this team has very good knockoff as well. So like heavy duty boots on other shit to like prevent you from getting hit from Stealth Rocks is like non-existent here.
Yeah,
like, this team just has all the fundamentals. It has good type synergy. It has like it's very, 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 very good. I love this team. Definitely,
yeah, it's got good hazards, good pivoting,
like,
good removal.
There is no bad pick. Like there's no bad pick at all. There's no Mon that doesn't fill any roles. Like everything fills a role here. Everything.
Lando and Heatran are really good scarfers.
Yeah.
The defensive synergy, like I know we talked about this before, but like with Seismitoad being ground type and Lando also being a ground type, but they don't share any weaknesses.
They don't share any weaknesses though.
And Seismitoad covers for a lot of like Torn's weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. So you don't rely on Lando being your only electric type switching. You don't rely on Lando being your only anything switching at all. Honestly, like even because like you don't even have to rely on it switching in on Earthquakes because you have Tangrowth right there, which will
Edgequake does nothing to this team between Lando and Tangrowth. Like
this team has every like. There's nothing you can do to this team unless like I don't know. It's just it's very hard, but not unstoppable. Obviously, because like no team is unstoppable. Batter players can do every shit, but like if this team is played well, legitimately, it will like win.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of potential in this team, and I think I'm comfortable putting it at number 1.
I am as well. And with that, that is
Definitely comfortable putting it
Acuity
number one.
PRs. I'll post the docs for PRs after the videos come out, I think. But yeah, thank you guys.
And link them in the description if Wacko remembers.
I will not probably, which is why I said I would.
Okay.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry it's super long. I was hoping it would only be like 30.
I mean that's just how PRs are, dude. You don't have to apologize. Like PRs are meant to be long.
Yeah, and we still got to do another one. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. We got to record Valor now. So thank you for watching.